Are we live?
Record.
Oh, no, we're just waiting.
Cannabis in here, you close it, it grinds it, and then you tap on it, and
Oh,
it fills the cone for you.
oh, cute.
It comes with cones.
It's good if you're disabled. We're in the green room. Awesome.
Good morning, everybody.
Listen, it's
Welcome
gonna be a
the
festive green room.
day.
No.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Tis the
today.
season.
Tis the season.
And no, listen, as you know, we always start off with kind of
Sorry.
Were you live
where we're
now?
at politically or in our own lives. Listen, I survived, as you know.
Tallahassee.
No, well,
And the car
Tallahassee,
accident.
yes.
Oh
and
my God, your car
But
accident.
you're right. There's been so much that's
there's
happened.
So many things.
You know,
going
since
on.
but I did listen on Sunday, everybody. I'm going to give credit right up front to modern technology by Honda Ridgeline,
Yeah, you're lucky you had a
airbags.
truck.
Somebody literally turned immediately in front of Patty and I, Jacaranda, and for the locals, very important. Be careful. It's snowbird time.
Oh, and they don't know the rules of the rotary circles.
So the circle's a circle. This was a blinking yellow turn left with caution. Okay, which to me makes no sense.
No, they shouldn't do that here.
They should.
They really should. There's in actually every place that has. Now that I thought about it, actually, after you had that accident in Sarasota, every place that has that or that left that arrow, they're really famous for accidents.
No
They gotta
doubt.
stop doing it. Obviously, it
So,
doesn't work.
I should have had you upload a picture down of my car. And
I know,
listen,
right?
yeah, my car,
It was
may
like-
she rest in peace. I love that truck.
I know.
No, and seriously, now I'm thinking about what I'm gonna get now. So listen, Patty's okay, and I am too. I got this. I don't know if you can see the bruise and a little, but listen, the modern
you're alive, so
airbag,
thank
there's a bang, another bang from the airbags. And then I literally felt like I was kind of floating in a cushion of protection, so to
that's
speak.
good, that's good.
And believe me, as the ER doctor that I am for 35 years, I've seen
Bad accidents where people are
Absolutely.
I'm sure,
so to be
yeah.
able to get out of the car and know you're okay. I saw the other couple, they were okay too. They were cited, but I bring that up for a reason. And they were cited. Everybody's okay. My car was totaled. I've never been in an accident where the car had to be towed off. And I'll be honest with you, I never want to be in another one that has a crunch like this. But here's the cannabis story, everybody. So as everybody knows, Patty's a patient and people know that I have my card as well. We literally stopped at the dispensary, 15, 20 minutes beforehand and had cannabis products in our car still from the dispensary, in the appropriate packaging. We have our cards, of course, and literally in the old days, of course, oh my God, you get in an accident, you have some hot dope, wheatgrass, whatever in the car, seriously. And you get that feeling up here in your chest that you never want to have. And even though it's not your cause of the accident, you weren't smoking cannabis while driving, still having product in your car. You literally would freak out, but this was opposite. I said to the officer, because of course, Ruta, and I was wearing my compassionate cannabis hat, and I had it was the women's month cannabis long sleeve shirt that I like so much that Everett had made for us back in the day.
I love that shirt.
I love that shirt too. And it was that kind of day. And I blame the Browns because it was a bye week. It's always the Browns.
Always those damn Browns.
Because it happened at 2:07 on a Sunday, and typically I'd be home watching. But here's the thing, I had to drop off my kayaks, which are still sitting here in the parking lot, because I was waiting to take them but now I have no hitch to pull them to where they need to be. But anyway, thank God I had dropped them off before the accident. They would have jackknifed. It would have been complete
projectile
disaster.
That would have
But the point is, listen, I had a feeling of comfort because the products were appropriately packaged. I had my card. I literally showed the highway because, like I said, there's no doubt about it.
This is screaming up your body.
I showed it to the highway patrol officer, and he goes, "Hey, it's all good. We don't care. I obviously wasn't impaired."
Yeah.
And listen, the other guy was cited. I don't know what's going to happen with my car. As you know, there's no supply of cars anywhere.
There's no
these
cars
days.
now, even if you want one. Good luck.
And I'll be honest with you, Don. I'll be honest with you. So Don's behind the producer today, of course, and we're so glad to have him back.
Yeah.
So Don, I said, I don't want to go downward in size of car now. I want to go bigger. I want one of those monster trucks
like the
now.
Hummers, with the Hummer.
Yeah, I do. I almost want like one of those graders on the front, like the old. When you should almost design them, Don. here at Snowbird time. It's a good listen, we're going to get into our
It's like
Christmas.
the Mad Max truck.
We are. We're going to get into the Christmas gifts for cannabis in a moment here. And that would be a great one, I think, for everybody. Literally, if you think of the old locomotive days, you had that thing on the front. The cow. Yes. Yes. Indeed. The cow catcher. So literally, I want to go bigger. But listen, everybody's okay. You know, a little bit sore. And I'll be honest with you, I'm
No,
a
we're
lot
lucky.
less sore than I thought I would be. And like I said, thankful for the technology of the airbag. So listen, we're going to get Shaq and Kara in here soon, our educators.
Yes, I'll be stepping out and we're going to be doing a product.
But I do want to talk a little bit legislative stuff first, because it's really important. So really, since the rollout of the Learned Roach bill, everybody, which I do believe will be the bill that will advance forward at the legislative level, it's been really interesting to see the response of the advocate community and the I think to a certain extent lack of understanding a little bit of where the doctors fall on it, because listen, there are some advertising restrictions for doctors, and there is an increase in the price of the course and the number of hours that we have to do. But in general, the doctors are for that, because those of us that are doing it in a legitimate nature, right. We want to make sure that every doctor is teaching about cannabis in their practice. Absolutely. And we don't really like somebody just coming in and taking a 2-hour course that doesn't even mention the endocannabinoid system, and then getting involved with a large or small, doctor group or office who maybe, putting patients into the registry and relying on somebody else to do the teaching. So, we wish that every doctor, was involved. But here's the key and why this bill is advancing. It's advancing because, listen, and let's start out our holiday giving section. And I see. And
we were talking about education. So
no, but here's why. Here's why. We don't want anybody going to the gas station or the convenience store or the smoke shop and buying a Delta 8 THC product for those that don't have their cards yet. So let's just start out the gift commentary section by saying, listen, making sure you get your card
and then get,
if you're qualified in Florida with a qualifying condition and a cannabis consumer or not, it's time to get your card. Many excellent practices out there providing that service around Florida, and nobody should be illegal in the use of a plant. And so once again, I think just by starting out, that would be the most practical advice. Just, take that step to get your card.
Go get your card. Right. And now we're fortunate enough to have two of the most greatest educators, patient educators you could ask for a cannabis practice. So we're going to have Kara and Shaq. I'm going to be stepping out because they are product gurus. I am not. And so we're going to have a fun show now. So enjoy the products, and I'll see you guys all next week. And now I'm
absolutely come on in, guys. So literally it's like almost, I'm going to go over, you know what, guys, come on over, take these two, because I got a gift of goodies. So come on in. This is Kara, guys.
Good morning.
And I'm going to take this one. So listen, I'm so fortunate, everybody. Am I even in the picture, Don? There you go. It's all right. I'm coming. So listen, it's almost, I want to go back to Thanksgiving a little bit, and let everybody know how thankful I am to really have the staff that I have. And, listen, my educators are, literally my right and left arm, in the clinic, because how I've set up the clinic is that I do what I do, but then I have people that know more than I do about a lot of things, the products, a lot of the delivery methods and devices. Shaq here, Shaquan Harps, of course, formerly, but, listen, so it's such a thrill to have him with me, because we've seen literally over 8,000 patients together, and we've, celebrated our 4th year together. Kara also has been unbelievable and so knowledgeable and educated, and just brings a level of education to my practice that I really think is unmatched. So it's great to have them. They're my gift to that extent. And let's just talk about the plant itself, guys, as the first and ultimate gift. And Shaq, listen, as everybody knows, in our practice, we have people that come in that have never used cannabis before, those that have used it in the past, but don't currently use it. And then those current users. For those people that were current users coming into the program, such as yourself, isn't there just such a gift in having that level of anxiety removed, right? Absolutely. And being recognized as a user of cannabis for good. Listen, not to out you, but you're a diabetic, of course.
Yes.
So, you have health issues that you want to make sure that you take care of. as naturally as you can
Every
as you
day.
go forth.
Every
So
day.
just
Yeah.
gonna open it up for you, man.
No, so for me, it's like I tell the patients every day, man, using this plant and not having to have anxiety about it is absolutely amazing. Going to the dispensary and bringing home a receipt for your product. I'm like, man, listen, first receipt I got for product, I don't know how many times I looked it over, but it's like, is this real?
It is.
But and that's how most of us patients feel who have been cannabis users for a long time. And it's just a great feeling to know that, listen, I'm not gonna, be pulled over and have an issue for using something that's absolutely phenomenal for my well-being. So
Well, it's so important, of course, for every community, but
Yes.
surely in the young person community.
Oh,
See, I'm
man.
going to go there first. But also
sure.
seriously, in
sure.
our African-American community, other minorities, Hispanics, of course, anybody with a earring or a tattoo, here I am, white and Jewish, and I don't have any tattoos. So I got a pretty good chance of getting off on stop, but surely much more than you. But seriously, that gift of legality is a
it's
great
everything.
thing.
It's everything.
And Kara, just, as far as you're concerned, I know you've been fascinated by the plant itself.
Absolutely.
And really what it does for patients.
Absolutely. Just the different story that I see every day come through the door, and how many, what a diverse group of people that one thing helps. It's just really incredible. And to be able to sort of, use what I already know and pass it on to people is really pretty fantastic.
Well, it's to get to the knowledge of the endocannabinoid system and all the other cannabinoids and the routes of administration that allows you to pass on, once again, that gift that we know, which is on the planet,
right.
Which is the cannabis plant. And, once again, I'm not overly religious necessarily, but the point is when you're wired with an endocannabinoid system, right, that matches the phyto or from the plant cannabinoid system, to deny the use of it in a population, as we know, isn't right. And
I think that's one of the things that when we educate them, the patients are most surprised about, that they have a system that accepts and reacts to cannabinoids
and also
They have no idea.
terpenes.
and they're like,
But
Yeah.
listen, also terpenes.
so it's
And the other things that come out of that flower,
Yes.
right? And,
Flowers,
we love
what's
telling our new patients that have never used cannabis before, and listen, we have all these fun stuff to show, and we will. It's not only the cannabinoids, but the terpenes also. And our newer patients, and how much fun it is. Listen, we have a new phenomenon going on, everybody. I want to warn people once again, and just not put too much of a serious touch on the show. And Patty's watching too. So we have a new trend. We have newbies coming in now that have never used anything before, but will now try a gummy
Absolutely.
from their friend
Absolutely.
or from any, and they don't know necessarily what they're taking.
Right.
So we don't know if it's a Delta 8 from the smoke shop or if it's a 1-to-1 product legitimately from the dispensary.
Absolutely.
Or a 10 milligram THC gummy. But it's unbelievable, everybody, because the Doobie One is like, we almost need a new category of a Doobie 1.01 or something like that. But people, be careful over the holiday season. So let's get into some of the fun stuff. And
Absolutely.
listen, let's just start here. So this is a lockbox, everybody, and it's a great gift. So the purpose of today's show is to make sure that as we discuss cannabis from the medical aspect, that, hang on, Shaq, I got your gift in here somewhere. So go ahead and take over for that. So as we know, in Florida, there's certain rules, and you got to make sure, right?
So when you get your product, you have to make sure that it's still in the bag that came from the dispensary, with the receipt and things of that nature. So me personally, I don't always ride around with all of my product. I mean, especially if I'm going to like my father-in-law's who doesn't live in town. That's a 2-hour drive. So I take a couple things, I put it in a lockbox, and it goes basically with all of the luggage that we have in the car. So if we do happen to get pulled over, look, officer, there is cannabis in the car. It's in a lockbox. I mean, we just like a concealed carry almost. I'm moving safely with my cannabis. It all has my name on it. If you do want to check it, everything's legal. So
Sure.
It's
and for
just
child safety, of course,
absolutely,
and
because I have
otherwise.
3 children myself, so it has a lock. Basically, you just lock it, put the code on it, and the zipper sets right inside.
Good
But-
memory test. You got to remember the numbers.
Don't forget. No,
Don't forget the numbers.
But yeah, man, there's little Velcro spots that you can separate things in,
Right.
or, you can just kind of put things in here like you need to.
So and these are stocking stuffers. So we got big gifts, little gifts. Here's some
Absolutely.
little gifts. These are Beniva pads,
Yep,
right?
little Beniva packs.
And you put these in with your
In with your
cannabis,
flower.
and
Absolutely.
they preserve your terpenes
Absolutely.
and keep things nice and fresh.
Yep.
Right.
Humidifies the
And they
food.
can be found in a lot of places. What else is here? So here's a grinder.
Yep. Nice.
So,
grinder.
well, I like that. I like the colors too. So
Had to have it.
grinders are important because listen, the most important thing about flower products are those beautiful trichomes that we see or the little crystals. So you want to make sure that as you prepare your flower, guys, right, that you don't crush the trichomes and this and that. Also, Shaq, doesn't something communicate or Kara, doesn't something also
There's a-
accumulate down in the bottom? That's called
Absolutely.
what?
Your
That's the
teeth
key.
patches
teeth
in there.
patches.
So
It's
what's
the-
that all about?
So
guys?
it's the magical compartment that apparently some people don't even know about. So I don't want
Do
to
your
spill
thing.
you out here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we don't wanna
So the
spill
very
tea
bottom
used
compartment
it.
of the grinders, ta-da, if I can get Shaq's open
There you
here,
go.
is gonna have a whole compartment of all this magical dust
Huh.
inside.
And that's called keef,
And that's keef.
but you can buy in the dispensaries
You
also,
can,
of course,
you
but
can,
that's
as
your
a
own.
concentrate, but here it is for free as a bonus.
Sure.
And you can add that to your flour. If you smoke out of a pipe, you can put it in with your flour if you
Right.
roll, however you want to do it.
And there's another small grinder here. Once again, here's some more stocking stuffers. I love this tray. Everything is better with a bag of weed tray. Okay. That was one of my favorite. That was my favorite Family Guy of
I love
all
Family
time.
Guy.
That's
Yeah.
it right there.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
that
that.
one.
How awesome is
Shaq,
that?
I found my present that I put aside for you.
Aw.
So listen, I bring this out because this is a water pipe.
Absolutely.
Okay. And
Oh,
as we
perfect.
talk about cannabis delivery devices,
That is.
it's important to know about all of them. This would be a Puffco Peak. We'll get back to that.
Love that.
But this would be what would be called a bong or a cannabis delivery device that has water in it, right?
Absolutely.
Which purifies the smoke. You can put ice up through here. And I only bring these out just to let people know that things that have been used, on a quote unquote legal adult use basis, also there is reason to, once again, purifying, some of those tars and other type things that, that may be dangerous, but that is yours. Shaq.
Absolutely.
It's way too big for.
Hey, that's awesome.
What else do I have? So this is a cannabis container that would be
Super
sealed
cool
up the
job.
top, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was made for me by, I think it was Nurse Tony, I believe, but that's very cool. So you'll see all kinds of things like that. Go ahead, Shaq. What else you got up on there?
I have my Puffco. The Puffco is a awesome delivery device.
So let's talk about dabbing a little
Concentrates.
bit because that's a newer form of cannabis use as well. That once again from the medical side, everybody, and here's the important news, just slipping in a few moments of legislative stuff. We're not going to hear any 10% THC cap talk this year, no cap on concentrates
Which is
or
awesome.
other products, which is awesome. So you go into the dispensary and cannabis users, be they newbies who have never used it before or old timer, what am I pointing at myself? Or old timers who've used cannabis for a long time, you'll see shatter and crumble and butter and other such things that are meant to be used in devices like this.
Absolutely. So we do love shattered crumble, the butter, the live rosins. If you haven't tried it, do yourself a favor.
So what's the story with that, Shaq? That's produced basically from a plant that's not even dried?
Not even dry. They
Right.
freeze it directly out of the curing process. And then that's how they do the extraction from the frozen butter.
And what everybody wants is the most of the natural product coming out of that plant.
Absolutely.
All the cannabinoids, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids, all the who knows what they are. And the important thing about these devices, everybody, and Kara, maybe you want to comment on it a little bit, is that the temperature that you set it at, that you use the products at, can be really important. So you can buy devices that might be
turn green.
right.
See it changing colors. I think they can see that. So like he's talking about, it just has different temperature settings.
Because the different terpenes will vaporize at certain temperatures
Absolutely.
and you will get different effects. So for the ultra connoisseur, you absolutely can really dial in, a lot of the effects.
I like to go green.
Right. So what do? The concentrate product goes
So
in there.
This is just a cap, basically, to help you roll your concentrate in there while it's going. But you take your concentrate and you press the button that's here in the front. And this the cup that's inside, it's going to heat up. Basically, it'll heat to a certain temperature, and it's going to go boom, boom, boom to let you know it's ready. You can honestly take your concentrate beforehand and just set it inside, and then once it's fully heated, you just cap it, and then you start to take a hit from it.
So are those difficult to clean? I mean,
Honestly, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. You know what I use? I use alcohol and a little bit of salt, and I use that with any of the products that I use.
Right.
But I will be honest, there's a lot of like 420, cleaning products and other things that people use that are pretty phenomenal as well. But typically I just use salt and alcohol.
So these are the vaporization techniques that avoid the combustion of the plant itself. You'll see volcanoes also and other type of handheld. Here we go. So this would be the volcano, just a box. And listen, this is one of the originals and comes with a big bag that fills up with vape. And, really, if you look at really a medicinal way of delivering cannabis, that's a fantastic way. Kara, why don't you hold up the cookbooks over there and let's get our magic butter.
That's pretty cool.
So listen, here's something else that's going on, everybody, and it's a fantastic thing. So this would be magic butter machine, right? And listen, Kara's got a couple books.
Books here.
Books are a fantastic gift, everybody. And let's talk about distilling cannabis down into magic butter in a moment. But books in general, I want to recommend a couple. Dustin Sulek's got a new book out there, and Ethan Russo as well. Unbelievable number of cannabis-centered books, and they make great gifts. And listen, if you really want to talk about cannabis as medicine, which we do every day, once again, it's what all those other cannabinoids, can offer. We know we have THC, CBD, and all the others. When you get into the cooking with cannabis side of things, it's fascinating. So Patty brought in a couple cookbooks. We have the magic butter machine. So what's it all about? You literally take cannabis plant material and then you put it in the machine. And I don't know, I'm not a baker.
I've never used the butter machine. Yeah. I just know the kind of process of when you have to decarboxylate it yourself and put it in the oven and bake it, put it out, cheesecloth it, and do it that way. I know the long drawn out process. That one is much cooler.
Well, it makes it easier, but the decarboxylation is what it's all about. And what that means, everybody, is cannabis as it comes out of the ground. The THC, the Delta 9 is THCA, which is acidic. That's why you need to bake a brownie, which is the heat, decarboxylate it. Absolutely. When you put it through a magic butter machine or light a joint or, vaporize your trichomes otherwise. So you need to convert that acidic product into the non-acidic product, really, which is what it's all about. Right. Yeah. But don't be fooled, by those things that are CBD derived, right? That are, made into synthetics. What you got there? All right. Oh, this is great too. So listen, this is great for patients that have disabilities, or those that are just a little bit lazier than not. This is a device where you put your cannabis flower in, you close it, it grinds it up for you, and then it fills your cone.
Oh, it's pretty amazing.
Indeed. And really, once again, from the medical side, it's fantastic because we know that our disabled community, and surely those with arthritis and things of that nature, so, and you'll see that there's all kinds of different machines out there that'll do this. The dispensaries, for those watching that have family members that are in the program, the dispensaries do sell any number of interesting type of devices such as this. Listen, we'll figure it out sometimes technology wise. The point is that, listen, Patty was trying to check into seeing if they have gift cards, which we don't. You guys don't know of anybody that has any gift card program, right?
I think somebody did something like that last season.
Is that right?
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about it so far.
Sure. No. But the point is, a lot of these delivery devices and things of that nature. Here's another couple small stocking stuffers.
Yes.
These are a little dab pad, type of things where you keep your concentrates. I love this for those that are woodworkers and the like,
awesome.
This, and here's, so there's all kinds of big and small things that you can find both in the dispensaries.
Little mouth crutches for your joints.
Well, listen, even buying a pack of papers these days is different because you'll see papers that will have crutches that will allow you to put a little tip on it. So, ostensibly people tell me that you get little pieces of cannabis in their mouth if the joint is rolled too loose or something.
Oh, Scooby snack.
Listen, somebody, here's the point. We want to make sure that our patients know that in this holiday season and their families, that a gift for cannabis is okay. And one of the things I wanted to get into before we end up, and I'd love for you guys to speak to it. Don, 856, perfect.
Yep.
We talked about it like this: how to talk to your family about your cannabis use, how to talk to your doctor about your cannabis use, and that there should be no shame in it. Because if you approach it appropriately, right, there's ways of opening the conversation without even opening yourself up for any criticism. So if it's a family member or your doctor, you could say, hey, have you seen what's going on in the world of medical cannabis? You don't have to out yourself and say, hey, I'm a medical cannabis patient and I'm going to throw it right in your face. Right. But I say that you can open it up at the family dinner table in this era, because it's truly a bipartisan issue. And I think if you're looking for something to talk about at your holiday table, and even in your doctor's office, I say, listen, ask your doctor about how they feel about medical cannabis. I had to watch this thing from West Virginia last night, guys, and West Virginia is going to undergo a 10% THC cap battle. And I thank my friend Mike McKenzie for turning me on to the hearing. The guy who heads their doctor council up there is a guy by the name of Dr. James Berry. And I don't think he's watching because I don't think he's clued into the green room yet. But with all due respect, he's an addiction psychiatrist, okay, who's leading their medical cannabis board. And they are so afraid of cannabis as medicine. Okay. They literally are so worried about the, addicted from narcotic patient, and unfortunately West Virginia and every state, there's plenty of them, of abusing cannabis, okay, as another recreational substance on top of the narcotics that somehow they became addicted to. And when I only had 90 seconds to speak at the end of the hearing to relate to them that you've got it all wrong. You've got it all wrong. What we know is that our patients in general use cannabis to use less pharma, live better lives, more active lives, and Absolutely. It's a plan.
Yeah, it's a plan,
right?
Like I said before, man. I mean, you're pharmaceutically going vegan. And even if you're not fully,
Shaggy always had that line.
Listen, you know what?
I haven't used that one in forever. How can that be? How have you not wrangled that line back to me? It's funny because the staff knows with each era of cannabis, we have a different discussion with our patients, and every day we do have to have the Delta 8 discussion now. And every day we do have to make sure that patients know what to look for, right, in every venue, because there are legitimate Delta 8 products, in the dispensaries too. And they may have some legitimate value, but what we want to make sure is that nobody wanders into the wrong venue, and we don't have 16-year-old,
absolutely,
Jimmy or whoever coming back to the family dinner after going out with his cousin and eating 8 Delta 8 gummies or something. Right?
Yeah. So we have to just normalize cannabis use, I feel. You know what I mean?
Well, we do. The legalization is what it's
now
all about.
That it is legal and we're able to do it legally, we have to normalize it. But, obviously we're normalizing doing it safely, doing it the correct way.
It's legal adult use, and it's legal adult use. We'll get there. But at this point, the medical program dictates, that we do it, as every day with honesty and integrity and education and passion. But so thank you guys for it. But everything you do, and listen, thanks for bringing in all the toys. What's this one?
Those are glob mops.
These are okay. Sure,
use concentrates. Get them some glob mops. They will not be disappointed.
For sure. So, all kinds of big and little gifts, and once again, the biggest gift I think is just if you don't have your card, get your card. If you do have your card, learn about cannabis. If your doctor didn't teach you, plenty of books to read. Once again, anybody that's looking to get their card, we're here every day doing what we do, and with honor and integrity.
Love what we do.
Yep, every day. Thanks to you guys for that. And listen, next week, I think we'll probably go legislatively. I'm hoping to get somebody from that side. We're hoping Representative Roach himself will come in to visit us in the next week or so. I got invited today, and I've reached out to Representative Learned to talk about the Learned Roach bill. I will be on the rotation, guys, which is the Suncoast Normal show with Gary Stein and Carlos Hermedia and Chris Cano on Sunday morning. And I'm really looking forward to that because in the advocate community, and you guys know it, there's a kind of a misunderstanding about how important this bill is because of the bipartisan nature of it.
Yeah.
And we all want job protections. We all want home grow. We all want multiple caregiver status. There's a whole bunch of things that we want. Not going to get it this year, everybody, but we're going to embrace what we do get, which is hopefully telehealth back, little extension on the visits. And, maybe for Christmas, 2 years for the card, but listen, have a great holiday season, everybody, and hug your loved ones. And we'll see you next week in the green room.
Happy holidays.